I'm back for another plugin review. This time we're going to look at the Psp Busspressor 2. Let's find out, is it? So yeah, here we are back again. Psp have updated their bus compressor, or Busspressor as they call it, Busspressor 2. GUI looks cool, zero latency. Psp have been around forever. You know, Vintage Warmer we talk about a lot. Been running that plugin for years and years and years. Absolutely love it. They do a bunch of stuff I use all the time. The Xenon is one of my go-to limiters. They just make some really nice stuff. All their compressors generally sound good as well. Their EQs are pretty good. So when they do something like an update, it's always worth a look. So let's crack on with the Psp Busspressor. Obviously the demo, the audio demo is at the end. As always, give it a listen. I think you're going to enjoy that. So let's start by looking at the interface. From the top, we have got the usual percentage of how big the GUI is. I like the fact that you can scale it to whatever you want. Sometimes it jumps and sometimes it doesn't come back the same size. I don't know whether that's a problem with the plugin or the problem with my system, but I noticed that on all their plugins quite often it will do weird things with the sizing. But once you get it where you want it, you're generally good. We've got the presets at the top as usual, as well as copy and paste, A, B, and all the rest of it, undo and redo, quite useful to have. We've then got the attack, we've then got the compression meter, we've then got the ratio, goes from 1.5 to 1 all the way up to 10 to 1, so really wide scope for a compressor. Then we get really interesting because we have the amount of dry signal, and you can use the button to bring the dry signal in, and then below that we have the amount of compressed signal. And then there's an all-in button. That's a really interesting way to do it. Instead of just wet or dry, is it doing the same? My brain can't get around that. Is a wet-dry control that goes from 0% to 100% wet, is that the same as having two? Because you can have 100% of the compressed signal and then bring in a bit of the dry. I don't know. All I know is that when I was messing with the demo, as you'll see, I really liked some of the effects you can get by mixing the two. Moving down, we have the release control. We have the threshold trim, as they call it. Really useful, big, I like it. It's red, you can't miss it. Then you have the makeup control. There are some strange things about the GUI. So like the makeup 0 is at sort of 9 o'clock. And obviously on the compressed signal, 0 is at 3 o'clock, and the same on the dry signal. So there's some weird idiosyncrasies to it, but I quite like it in use. It actually really worked. There's an auto on the release, so very much like, you know, SSL bus compression, it will do that auto thing quite well. There's some sidechain filters, there's the high pass, and then there's an emphasis, which again, you can push certain frequencies in to trigger the compressor. I like that. The fat button is oversampling. I generally always have that in. In fact, you'll see on the demo, I'm constantly pressing it every time I change to try a different, preset. The fat is by default off. It'd be quite nice to have that by default on, but every time I had to keep poking it back in. What else have we got? So we've got the sidechain input down the bottom, so you can move the fader between 100% internal and 100% external. Quite useful. And then you've got a monitor for the sidechain down the bottom, a little thing that boops up and down, shows you the level. Yeah, got no complaints about the look of it. It's big and it's bold, and you can see what everything's doing. You'll see from the demo, it sounds fantastic. All Psp compression limiting kind of plugins, they all have a very cool sound. Really like it. Negative points. I'm going to say there's maybe a lack of extras, a lack of extra little things it could do. It would be really nice if there was a mid-side option. That would be very cool. That would mean doubling up the controls. Obviously, it would be a different interface then. But mid-side would be really useful for a bus compressor. In this day and age, I think people kind of get used to that now. So that would be kind of cool. It would be nice if there was some kind of saturation circuit. Now, if you drive this, it does saturate a little bit. So I don't know whether that's really necessary, but I would like to see it on something that's designed for buses. And maybe a simple EQ. Again, being very, very picky, it sounds great as just a compressor, but these days I think the plugins I like the most are the ones where there's some extra stuff going on. Anyway, so let's get down to it. Is it shit? No, it's not. It sounds fantastic. It's definitely going to be in my things I'm going to try out on buses from now on when I'm mixing. Star rating, I'm going to go 3 because it looks good. It sounds good. I would say I haven't done the price yet. Value is a slight issue. So the price is $99. There's no sale going on at the moment. That's just the price. There's a 30-day demo, usual thing with PSP. No issues with that. It's 0 latency as well, which means you can use it in the recording chain. Quite useful. But yeah, the value and the, there's no extras. That to me, it's just, that's not a bad price, $99. There's just such a lot out there you can get cheaper. We just looked at the Kive X Bus. Does sort of the same job, but it's just got so much going for it. You have to compare the two. You just do. Anyway, so yeah, 3 stars, not shit. It's cool. Listen to the demo. Right, I need to remind you to like the video, maybe subscribe to the channel or become a channel member. You can go check out the website. There's our plugin top 5. There's also links to the courses. There's the new mixing course number 2. Really proud of that. Go and check that out. Whole bunch of other stuff. It's all down there, and I will see you next time. Adios.
You're calling my phone.